Real cars, doing real shit at full fucking speed. Literally existed for almost every shot in the movie that you see during the big chase, between 80 and 100 miles an hour.
What's your side? Fucking hell!
Quentin wants real action. You know, old day vanishing point, bullet, French Connection type action where you didn't use tricks.
Fucking slide!
You wanna get high? Suck on this for a while! Suck on this, motherfucker! Somebody say cut!
Jeff Daschenau was my stunt coordinator on the film. And Jeff was really cool, and he worked with me, you know, all the way down the line. And Dash came up with some great gags that were location-based. I came up with some good ones. Don't even remember now who came up with what. He knew what I needed to do. He knew how I needed to accomplish the stuff that I needed to accomplish.
And just trust your judgment that you make the run and you say, yeah, I had it.
Dash 20 years ago would not have been someone you necessarily would have pointed the finger at and said, this guy's going to be a really good coordinator someday. He was a lot of fun. But he's grown a lot as a man. He's grown a lot as stunt coordinator. He's top of the line now. He's really great and fun to work with. Dash is a cool guy.
How do you know to get the right curl in the hat up here? What's the rule?
I actually have a hat maker that puts the redneck roll in them for me. It's expensive, but you know, what's money to a guy like me?
He brought a bunch of cool old school people together.
We've done this a bunch of times. Not only did he bring him because I like for him to be here, but he brought him as a good luck charm too, and he's a good boy.
It's tough to get these two out of the convalescent home to get them out here to work. It messes up their whole retirement deal and everything else.
Buddy Joe Hooker is doing some fantastic driving for Kurt.
I remember doing those cannon blows with some of the stunt guys that were friends of mine. And we got there and just strap in. We didn't even wear a helmet or anything. It was like ridiculously stupid. And what I like about this is you get a chance to see Buddy Joe still do it.
We're hooking up.
Oh, much better. Oh, yeah, Steve.
Yeah,
that was it.
I know.
Key,
Great,
baby.
huh?
Key.
We're driving 1970 vintage cars, which they had a lot of work to them, but still, it's not a Ferrari or anything. We would have these runs where we would be banging and crashing and all of this stuff for like 4 or 5 miles at a time. Excess of 80, 90 miles an hour. My favorite stunt was at night. We had a very skinny road.
I think it was 20 feet across.
He wanted the car to flip as many times as it could.
Quentin, not being too demanding, wanted it to be at about 70, 80 miles an hour.
And then wanted it to stay on this 2-lane highway.
Bounce down the street, end up on the hood, slide for a while, and stop on the road in front of the camera.
We told him, okay, you've got probably 25% chance of getting on the hood.
It was an off-cambered road, and I just didn't think it would ever happen. So he goes, you know, where do you think it'll end up? I said, somewhere between San Antonio and Houston. But Buddy Joe came in fast. Threw the car sideways, hit the cannon, bounced down the road, slid on its side for a while, turned over on the roof, stayed right in the middle of the street and stopped about 20 feet in front of the camera.
Covered probably about almost 160 yards by the time we blew it to where it stops.
If we did it again, it'd take us, 2 weeks to get it right.
Come on, let's do it.
I'm going in. Good, Quentin?
Yeah.
To me, that was really exciting.
Buddy, and there are legends in the business, and in an automobile, he's one of them. He's terrific. He's also really fun to work with.
It was worth it all!
Well, Buddy Joe Hooker is a true legend in this business. He is, he's a hero. He's one of the greatest stunt people who's ever lived. He's up there with Yakima Canutt and Dave Sharp and Terry Leonard and Hal Needham, all the legends, all the greats. And to actually have him work on my film and play this stuntman, my character, and do this fantastic driving and literally just pull off stuff that you just can't believe you're seeing, and then even to just get to know him and be his buddy and hang out and go drinking with him and everything. It was a pleasure.
Is that moi or vous?
Could be. You.
One of the best car chase movies ever is the Burt Reynolds movie White Lightning. And he's the one that at the end of the movie drives the car over Burt Reynolds. He flies it up in the air and crashes it in the creek. And Burt was talking to him about it, and Burt actually said, "Look, can you get that fully above me, where I'm completely ready, where I'm not having to duck. I don't have to duck. I can stand straight up, and can you guarantee the car will go over my head?" And he goes, "Yes, I can definitely guarantee that I will be fully and completely over your head." And then Burt goes, "Well, if you do that, if you can guarantee that, then I know what I want to do." And if you ever see the shot, it's just Burt just kind of standing by the car, just like this, all right, as the car sails over his head. Well, he would never have that kind of, he wouldn't even been in the shot if Buddy couldn't have convinced him that he could do it. And he never would have been able to just like kick back and be in that cool body posture that he had, unless he knew that Buddy Joe could get it officially high enough above his head that he's not worried about getting scalped by the car. And he did, and to actually just even hear Buddy not even realizing that I even know the stunt itself. But just to talk to me about it, and then realize, oh, and that's why that shot is the way it is, and it's so cool. And Burt wouldn't have been able to do his work if Buddy couldn't have, done his work. And oh man, it was just one story every day like that. It was just fantastic.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Buddy Joe, what's the hookup? What's the holdup?
What's the holdup? Let's go.
What's the hookup?
Let's go. It's the hookup.
Quentin. It had an end to the movie that if we pulled it off, it was going to be something that had never been done before, and it was very precise what Quentin wanted. He says, "Come down, meet me at the editing house." So I went down there, and he says, "Look, they've been bantering, they've been fighting back and forth, they've been crashing, they've been banging. I want the girls to knock him out. I want them to take him out of the show, take him out of the picture. They come across the road, hit him, his car flips." He said, "Let's make that the end of the movie."
So guys, you've seen what we're doing. 2 cars coming at us, actually 3 cars, but 2 stunt cars. Tracy's vehicle, the white Challenger, cuts across. We'll clip the back end of Buddy Joe's car, which we haven't done in any of these rehearsals. We're only doing it for the shot. And Cannon's Buddy Joe either towards us on the cement or over the hill onto the grass. That's the action.
I got to give accolades to Tracy Dashnaw and Buddy Joe and Steve Davison, because they've all turned cars over, they've all hit cars, they've all done collisions, but not like this.
Okay, cut.
Cut. You hit, and I saw you coming.
God, that was awesome.
Guys, we don't have vehicles. Gail, he's okay, Gail. Thank you. Up the road.
Nice job, everybody.
Yeah.
You guys, watch your backs. We have vehicles coming through. Watch your backs.
Hey, dude. Great job. It looked fantastic.
No, don't bullshit me.
Oh, I'm not bullshitting you, man. It looked fantastic.
Did you tell me?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Swear?
I'll tell you a little later, but I tell you.
Let's give it up for Buddy Joe Hooker!
Quentin, you know what? You were right
Go ahead.
about how to do that.
Okay.
Sometimes as stunt people we think we know it all, but a director comes along once in a while that knows more than we do.
Buddy, you already got the job.
Tracy Dashnaw was the main driver for Tracy Toms. Did some fantastic driving in my film. And
she's a great driver.
Yeah, she's a really terrific driver.
She is the best female driver I've ever been around and can stand up to most men I've worked with.
Tracy's making me look damn good, and it's just amazing the things she can do. Like, I can do it at like 20 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. She's doing it like at 80. And it's just unbelievable. She's badass. It's so much fun.
I think it takes a bit of a natural ability. I always rode motorcycles as a kid, horses. My first car was a 1969 Mustang Mach 1, and lived on a canyon road. That probably helped a lot. The car jump that Buddy Joe and I did was everything that we had hoped that the jump would be. Quentin said, God, it'd be really cool if the cars would hit in the air. Wanted the cars to land, keep driving, go off another little jump and onto the 101 freeway. It just worked. It was great.
Yeah, we got it right there. Yeah.
She's not my wife today.
Tracy was she was a rock. I mean, she was unbelievable in it under the circumstances that she had to deal with. You just forget that there's someone on the hood or that her vision's impaired. And you know, we were probably halfway through the sequence, and Tracy was talking to Quentin. They were having a little meeting for the drivers, and Quentin was explaining the next shot, and we needed to move the car. The stand-in double was on the hood, and I said, oh, I'll jump in and move it. And I couldn't see a thing. I walked over to Tracy and I said, you know what, I don't think I've paid you enough.
I can't say enough about her. She truly is an incredible driver, and she did some of the most incredible work for me anyone's ever done in my entire career. I mean, I really owe a lot of the chase to her. She for being able to be pulled off as well as it did. She was our MVP, to be sure, because we counted on her. We had to. We had, and not only did we count on her to pull off great, amazing stuff, we counted on her to keep Zoe out of harm's way. And that's a lot of stuff on her shoulders, and we put it all right there. And Tracy was the person we listened to. If Tracy said she couldn't do it, we didn't do it. Or we did it really slow, all right? And then we realized she could do it, and then we were like, little by little, add 10 miles an hour, all right, to every take. All right? If Tracy said she couldn't do it, we went, well, can you do it at 30? Well, yeah, I guess I could do it at 30, all right? Well, then, okay, she does it at 30. Do you think you can maybe do it at 45, all right? So she kick it up to 45, and eventually she's doing it at 70.
The girls were unbelievable, because I did have Chrissy Weathersby there as the second Tracy Tom's double, and they all got to be like a sisterhood.
Just watching them, I was able to learn a lot of things that can't really be taught in a school, but by watching them and how they prepared for certain things, it was just a huge blessing to be a part of that.
You know, Quentin's wish is that he wanted to get a young, up-and-coming girl that, you know, we could watch her career blossom from here. And I think that this is going to do a lot for Chrissy, because she did a great job.
I didn't want Tracy Dashonaut to do everything. I wanted us to have a young, female, black stunt driver in there. And then it comes back to me that, well, you know, there's not really that many female black stunt drivers. And the ones that are there are very, very, very green, because they haven't had a lot of experience, because there's not a lot of call for them. People aren't doing black car chase movies. Doing a lot of black other things, but they're not doing black car chase movies. So somebody could have a facility, but it's never been tested. Then it's important to me that we have a black woman be the double for the black actress. And her only thing against her is she doesn't have enough experience. Well, we're going to give her the experience. That's what this is about. You know, we're not penalizing her for the movie she didn't do. She's going to do this movie, and she's going to learn on this movie. And I'm going to use her in shots. And then Jeff took her out and did everything he could to give her experience before the chase started happening. And the whole idea was this, look, the way this world is right now, before we start Death Proof, maybe there aren't black female stunt drivers out there with this wealth of experience that can do this. But whoever we cast to be the black female stunt driver in this movie, she'll be able to do it when this movie's over. And she will go out and she will be the new girl. All right, and then if you're doing another chase movie and you need a black girl to be the driver, and she's going to be the go-to girl. And Chrissy just did a fantastic job. She was there to learn. She drunk in everything. She was just such a pleasure on the set. And I have no doubt that, you know, and we'll cut to five years from now, Chrissy's going to be one of the biggest female stunt drivers in America. We even had Terry Leonard come in for a real big stunt that we did. We're doing one of the hardest stunts that there is to do, which actually is a near miss. I mean, you can prepare for collisions and everything, but a near miss. One, it doesn't call attention to itself as much because it's not as spectacular as a crash. But it's got to be, you know, in order for a near miss to work, it's got to be a near miss by that much. And you can be all prepared for a horrible crash because the cars have got to do other things after they have to exist. And again, when it's all great until it goes bad. And in that instance, we had Buddy Joe Hooker driving the car that was in danger. We had him right alongside the Challenger, which was Tracy Dashnaw driving, and Zoe Bell on the hood of the car, as this near miss is going to happen. And we had Terry Leonard coming from off screen, who was going to do the near miss with Buddy Joe Hooker. So there is one moment in the movie that has 4 of the best stunt players on the planet Earth in one shot together. And all these different generations, too, of them. Starting with Terry, going to Buddy, going to Tracy, going to Zoe. And it is it's a shot for the Stuntman's Museum. I'm very proud that a shot like that happened in my movie. That put all 4 of those stunt greats in one frame together.
We're doing what they call a near miss head-on configuration where we come at each other at pretty good speed.
Working with Terry's great because I know he's steady on that end, and it's up to me to dive into him as deep as I can next to the girls and know that I can get out and not get out too early, but not too late. But it's cool, especially working with somebody like Terry. It's like, I don't have to worry about him.
You know, when you say legend in our business, you think of, you know, a couple guys come to mind, Terry Leonard, Buddy Joe. And to me, that's kind of where my legend list stops, because these 2 guys have done stunts. They still do them. You know, Terry's had several hips replaced. He came out and worked for us and flipped a truck. He was great.
And I knew that Quentin Tarantino was directing it, and I just got excited because he's the John Ford of this era.
Pulled up and I intercut, then bang. All right, but we're gonna do those 2 moves in one whole shot.
The thing about Quentin is he's done his homework in so many areas, and it shows.
I'm gonna go look at him and make a decision. Okay. All right.
Probably one of the most appreciative directors that I've ever been around.
In 7 days, we've done over 77 moments. Wow. 77 different moments. Give yourselves a big hand.
Hugely respects stunt people. He's really clear on what he wants. You know when he gets it.
Check the Helene. Put a hair in the gate.
He's very endearing.
His crew becomes his family, and he's definitely head of the family and runs the show. Although it's my 30th year in the business, I learn something every day from Quentin. He's a really good man to work for.
This job was, for all the things I've ever done, is going to stand out forever. It was so enlightening, I can't even tell you how much I learned and experienced on the movie.
And that's a cut! I set out to say, look, here's the deal. If we didn't do one of the best car chases in the history of cinema. And I haven't cut a lick of fucking footage, and I know we did it. I want to personally thank each and every one of you. Thank you, 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 thank you.
Check it out, bitch!